Hey YouTube, you know what time it is again. It's pickups time. Let me show you what I got for the MVS first.
Kick off. Super Sidekicks 3, the next glory. Kick off.
Alright, as you can see there, those were Super Sidekicks and Super Sidekicks 3. I decided to pick them up because I got the full kits for them. Here you go. Here's the Super Sidekicks 3, the next glory. And Super Sidekicks. I got these kits for really cheap. Actually, both of them full kits for under $100. Show you a little bit what's inside. Got your off. Get it out. Your marquee. And as you can see in the packet, I'm going to take it out. Got the dip setting. Really cool. This game is actually extremely expensive for the AES. So when I saw it going really cheap, the guy was offering it for a really good price, and I kind of lowballed him on it, and I wind up actually getting it. So I'm glad to actually pick this up because I actually do enjoy the Super Sidekick series. I know certain people like the Police Knot kind of don't like them, but we'll get through it. And the next one is the original Super Sidekicks. See? Move list. Really cool. The marquee. And of course, controls and the dip setting. Also, for the AES, I picked up actually Super Sidekicks 2, like super cheap. It's in really good condition. Got a good deal on it. Show you inside. I should have called this my Neo Geo Sports Edition pickup. As you can see, the manual. Doesn't have the baggie, but who gives a shit? Okay. That's cool. Also, I picked up a game. That game is Top Player Golf. Now, this game is courtesy of one really cool YouTuber named Crazy Cubano. Very, very cool guy, very animated. I love his videos. He started collecting Neo Geo about maybe 2-3 years ago. His collection is becoming really impressive. Really nice guy, very animated. Check his channel out. Very cool guy. Reason why I got this off of him is because it was a double he had, and he gave me a good price on it. So it's not the greatest golf game. In fact, it's kind of shitty because Neo Turf Masters is actually one of the best golf games for the Neo Geo and one of the best golf games ever made. But it's just nice to have in my collection. Okay, moving on. Let's move on to some PlayStation stuff. Alright, for the PlayStation 1, I actually finally picked up Street Fighter 2 The Collection. This is actually highly sought after because it features Street Fighter 2 The World Warrior, Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, and Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting. And actually, out of Street Fighter, Championship is my favorite because it was the ability to play the bosses that made it really cool. Alright, moving on. Now we are going to have current gen pickups. Persona 4 Arena, people. Very cool game. Got as soon as it came out. Outstanding fighting game. I don't know jack shit about the the RPGs, but as a fighting game in general, it's really good. And I have the soundtrack also with it. I haven't gotten a chance to listen to it, so I'll get around to listening to it. Another pickup, Rayman Origins. This is probably one of the best 2D games I've played in a long time. This character kind of is like obscure. He kind of like disappeared for a while. I mean, the first Rayman was on the PS1, and it did really well. I think the second one was pretty good, and then after that it kind of got shitty. This game is really outstanding. If you have a PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and this is not in your collection, something the fuck is wrong with you. Because this is an outstanding game. I actually got this at Target or Target for $20, brand new. Really cool game. I played a little bit of it, but the little bit that I played is really good. If you don't have it, pick it up. Next up is going to be Batman Arkham Asylum. As you can probably tell, it's still in its cellophane wrap because I haven't got a chance to play it yet. I picked this up also at Target, for $10, I believe. Yeah, $10. And it's a platinum hits, but like I don't give a shit about that. I know it's a really good game. Having not got the chance to play it, you know, got to make some time to try to sit down and check it out. But I know it's really good, so I'll just have to devote some time to it. Next up is going to be a really awesome pickup, and this is the only RPG I've ever owned, and it's probably the only RPG I probably like. And that game is the Samurai Showdown RPG. This game came out initially for the Neo Geo CD in Japan only, and then it was released to the PlayStation 1 and the Sega Saturn. You can see right here, the manual. I love the artwork. Oh. Very cool. It's basically a combination of Samurai Showdown 1 and 2. It's basically you go around, you gather up, you know, you meet some of your homies, you gather up a crew to basically defeat Amakusa. If anybody's familiar with the Samurai Showdown series, it's pretty cool. I'm going to probably need a tutorial because I can't read Japanese that well. I can understand it better than I can read it. But, really good game. I'll show you the back. Really good game. It's a shame it never made it here to the States because it's bright, it's colorful, and it's actually really fun. So let it be known, this is my first actual RPG that I actually own, and I actually like too. Next up is something really cool. I picked this up because I really don't have any joysticks for my PlayStation 3, because I wanted to actually play King of Fighters with a joystick rather than a joypad. And this was advertised to work with not only the PlayStation 3, but actually the PlayStation 2, if you can see the cords right here. And you see the USB. Here's my gripe with this. The artwork on here is beautiful. As you can see, it's one of the reasons why I was drawn to it. It's made by Joytron. I think they're a Korean company. Problem is here, I didn't really realize, none of the buttons are fucking labeled. So, I really don't know exactly what I'm pressing unless I go look on the box. The stick itself is actually pretty responsive. But the only thing is that I tried it with King of Fighters 13, and it doesn't seem to work for some reason. It won't register. So if any of you techie guys out there might know about this joystick or anything about it, can you please at least leave me a comment or what you think it might be a problem, because I tried it with Persona 4 and it worked. So I don't know what the problem is. So, yeah. Also, here's another techie question. My Japanese PlayStation 2, for some reason, it will not take components, but my American PlayStation 2 will take component. If anybody knows, and they're both the fat versions, if anybody knows why that is, please also leave me a comment. Alright, to my last and final pickup. Take you to the PlayStation 2. Alright, if you haven't figured this out, this is Virtua Fighter 2 for the PlayStation 2. When I found out about this game, I had to have it. Now, most of you know that I'm a huge 2D fighting game fan. But there are certain 3D fighting games that I do respect, and that's what you're looking at right here, Virtua Fighter 2. I respect this game highly. I think it was probably one of the best 3D fighters ever. And as you can see, just by looking at it, that it's 1,000 times better than the actual Sega Saturn version. Because the Sega Saturn could not handle the actual 3D backgrounds. They kind of did them like a 2-bit mapping, but it was still a really good game for the Saturn, all kidding aside. But as you saw there, the resolution is really high. It's basically an arcade port. As you saw on Shun's stage, the bridges that were missing out of the Saturn version are in the PlayStation 2 version. And this game is called the Sega Ages Collection. Now you say it says Sega Ages 2500. That basically is, I believe, is the yen. 2500, I think, comes out to maybe like $30. So if you got a Japanese PlayStation 2 and you like Virtua Fighter, this should be in your collection. Show you the inside. And you got the manual. And you get these cool little cards right here. These cool little cards basically talk about like the creator, how they came up with the idea. And if you notice though, see this has holes in it? These holes, the reason why they're there is there's a binder out in Japan where you can actually collect these, because in each of the Sega Ages collection, they have one of those little cards that you can actually collect. Alright people, this is my pickups. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you very much once again to Crazy Cubano for that awesome Top Players Golf deal. And take care.